One of the easiest ways for us to improve our writing almost instantaneously is to write more conversationally. Now that's easier said than done. I'm going to show you a trick that'll help you. But I say it's more easily said than done because I have struggled with conversational writing my entire life, and I still struggle with it. I don't know what it is about me, what it is inside me, but I know it's not just me because I've seen a lot of other people who are constantly pushed in the direction of formality in writing. It's just the way it is. We tend to think of speaking as informal and writing as formal. Well, that makes speaking conversational and it makes writing non-conversational. That's a bad thing because when our writing is non-conversational, it's more difficult to write that way and it's harder to connect with people. People have more difficulty with it because it doesn't sound like a human being. It sounds like it's something that's computer generated, something that comes from a machine. So how to write more conversationally is a question. Well, one of the recommendations I have for you is this device right here. This is a digital recorder. It's not expensive. As long as you don't want all the bells and whistles on it, you can get it quite inexpensively. Those of you who have a smartphone, which is almost everybody these days, probably your smartphone has a record function, so you won't even need one of these. You can just go ahead and use your smartphone. So here's the idea. You think about what it is that you want to write. You think about the person you want to write to, or the group you want to write to, and then within that group, who is the iconic individual, or the ideal individual that you would pick out and say, that's the person who I want to speak to most directly. Turn your recorder on and start writing. This is what I call talking on paper. You just start speaking what it is that you have to write instead of going ahead and typing it on a keyboard. Now, after you record it, obviously what you do is you transcribe it, and chances are good that what you're going to find is it's too informal, that you might have slang in there, you have too many colloquialisms. That's okay, because it's actually quite easy to rein that in. In fact, it's much easier to rein in writing that it has gotten too informal than it is to push ourselves to be less formal, to be more conversational. In almost every instance, conversational writing is superior to formal writing. I think I said reading, but what I meant was writing. Conversational writing is suitable for almost every situation. There are those rare instances when formal writing is the right choice, such as when you are trying to distance yourself from the information or the situation you're writing about. That's usually not the kind of writing we're doing. We usually want to own our writing. If we want to own our writing, we want it to be something that we're closer to, not farther from. To get closer to it, we need to be more informal, more conversational. And our readers will be able to read it more easily, and they'll be able to connect with it. So we come across like a human being. So the bigger issue is that when you're using a recording device, it gets pretty cumbersome to use one in the beginning. It takes a little bit of practice because you feel like you're talking to yourself. But the nice thing about a recording device is that you can write while you're driving in a car, while you're taking a walk, while you're sitting alone in your office, while you're pacing in your living room, whatever. So it gives you a lot more writing time than is available with a keyboard. But there is that period of time when you have to get used to the idea that I'm really kind of talking to myself into a recorder. But that's where we have to change our mind frame. We need to change the mindset to understand that we're not talking to ourselves, we're talking to a particular individual that we have firmly in mind, and then we go ahead and we write to them verbally. And then we've got conversational writing. Now, the thing to remember is that eventually this will come naturally, and eventually we won't need the recorder at all. And what we'll end up with is being able to write in a much more comfortable way. It'll be more natural to us, it'll be more natural to our readers. Make yourself a better writer. Write more conversationally. Easier said than done, but all it takes is some practice. Thank you for watching, and good luck.